delivering the paper after the sun is already up. Old people get up early and want their news, damn it. Knowing life will never be as good as when the Schwinn Scrambler was the pinnacle of two-wheeled transportation. Writing horoscopes that TVSins will interpret. Libra, your idea will be stolen. Scorpio, your idea will kill someone. Sagittarius, your idea is good. Capricorn, you will hate someone's idea and tell them it sucks. Aquarius, you will have an idea. Puzzle doesn't contain a clue for 44 across. That's racist. And just generally including a crossword puzzle in your TV show. If you look closely, you'll see the writer left me a message. Show doubles back to add plot threads and pretend they were secretly there the whole time. Just because the show decided that he used to care about the kids and wasn't always evil, that doesn't make this hair any less sinful.
What have you done?
This is a good question, but the show won't answer it now because it wants me to question everything I thought I knew about 11 Dr. Brenner and Hawkins National Laboratories. Well, joke's on you because I never question anything I think I know. I had to watch 9.5 minutes of cold opening credits before I could deliver this Fritz and Gustav Duffer joke.
Dear Mike, today is day 185.
Character counts the days of being in prison. I mean a relationship. No, I mean prison. Cliché.
We are all time travelers if you think about it.
We are not. Arriving at school and finding everybody cool, young, and fun with their whole lives ahead of them in the hallway. Cliché. Climbing the ladder to cross out the S. Climbing down to put the marker away. And then climbing back up to tear off the number.
I think we will have the best spring break ever.
The surest way to break your spring break is to prematurely celebrate your spring break.
Remind me, when did they become reasonable human beings again?
Remind me, who are you again? Am I supposed to know you? Have you had more than 2 lines in the previous seasons? Even a bad attempt to learn Latin is a terrible choice in a horror franchise. Do you want to accidentally resurrect a demon? Because that's how you accidentally resurrect a demon. This weird introduction to the Susie is an alcoholic subplot.
People who like boobies,
Ew,
Robin.
Gross.
Boobies.
Don't say boobies.
Not a big deal, okay? I like boobies. You like boobies. Vicky likes boobies. Definitely. It's boobies.
Boobies.
Now look, I'm not saying that my girlfriend is better than yours.
Dustin and Mike's conversations in non-life or death situations make me glad that they're frequently in life or death situations. Thinking your future's so bright you gotta wear shades when you live in a town with a death rate like Hawkins.
Think about each and every one of our friends who perished in that fire. What did they die for?
To advance the plot, I guess. Why else does anyone die in fiction? Episode's gonna try to show me a whole pep rally to cushion the runtime like it's some sort of egg getting prepared for the drop contest.
Tonight?
Tonight, oh!
Carol, can I call you back?
Potentially losing a sale to stare at a box that wasn't going anywhere. Get them to sign on the line which is dotted. Love the symmetry, but using 2 more 4 Kopek stamps would have reduced the number of licks it takes to ship a package from Russia by 6. I don't have someone to look at me the way this Russian doll looks at Joyce.
And that is why I have chosen Helen Keller as my hero.
Citations needed. Literally.
I made a diorama of our cabin.
More like diarrhea.
Hack Morris and his terrible jokes.
He made the best Eggos, and
Given the setup of this classroom and the position of Elle, I can extrapolate that Miss Worst Teacher of the Year has an unimpeded view of this young woman's leg stretching all the way across the aisle and chooses to do nothing. Show wants me to believe that at one point the American flag was a Christmas tree, and that it will be oops all stripes once we finally get rid of that pesky Constitution. Look, Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush is obviously a kick-ass track that deserves to be played at full volume, but this scene is almost a minute of Walking Down That Hall by Max Mayfield, so now I'm wondering if the song really needs to be played to its full extent.
A C in English and a C minus in Spanish.
Yeah.
C was right there.
I've changed. It's that simple.
It's true. Max has gone from being a victim of her brother's bullying to a victim of the Duffer brothers' bullying. The chaotic energy created when you dry swallow a pill. Is there a rule that fluorescent lighting is not allowed to function correctly in anything related to the horror genre? That one gave me the chills. An all-powerful interdimensional being not realizing that body-shaming a mortal teenager is punching down, sitting on the bathroom floor. I don't know why Chrissy looks surprised by the supernatural event she just experienced. Based on the look of it, it's pretty clear that the school made this bathroom haunted on purpose.
The devil has come to America.
my social media feeds every day, all day, regardless of my political fluidity. The school chef trying to get a Michelin star by chromatically matching all the food with the Bordenhole milk carton.
This year, it's my year.
Saying some last day on the force before retirement bullshit that's inevitably going to trigger all kinds of bad luck.
The creepy doll, can you remove her dress?
Now, that would be up to the doll now, wouldn't it, Murray?
Moby Dick.
Title of my sex tape? Thinking that the Honor Society welcoming new recruits is a front page story. You gotta give the people what they want. The school lunch menu.
That's why I love her.
Skip.
That's why I love him.
Gender equality skip.
Nancy!
Kids, which I'm now just realizing is skip with an upside down P and the S at the end. That's strange, huh?
So you fight with dice?
Being reductive. You also swim, dodge, and attempt to seduce the dragon. For some reason, Chrissy's still in her cheerleading uniform like she's required to wear it all day. Wait, is the Stranger Thingy-verse connected to the boys' verse? Arbitrary ticking clock, Trichet.
Very disappointing, Jane.
Math.
I hope Mr. Fibley's okay.
Why are all these people gathered to watch this? Did the school schedule this bullying session for maximum audience? We're sad for Elle because she's getting bullied, but I'm still counting this as attempted murder.
Joyce, are you there? Talk to me, Joyce! 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 Joyce!
Yeah.
Congratulations, Stranger Things! You've just won the contest for this week's most low-effort fake-out. The prize includes a year's supply of tomato soup and a free vacation for two to Fort Kent, Maine! Thanks for playing our game. I'd be tempted to remove a sin here for this hilarious Tammy crush payoff if the episode didn't try to make me believe they were close enough to be having this conversation while also being several seats apart. There is no way they can hear each other whispering at this distance, and with the auditory terrorism that is Tammy Thompson singing. Lucas looks for his friends in this specific bleacher, like this game has assigned seating. And if a high school basketball game has assigned seating, I'm comfortable sitting that as well. Violating Section 8 of the U.S. Flag Code.
This is Hellfire Club, not Babysitting Club.
Eddie violates the first rule of Babysitting Club.
My name is Lady Applejack, and I'm a chaotic, good, half-elf rogue level 14.
The convenience of Erica conveniently having a character from another campaign.
Looks like my headline has a shot.
Thinking this is a statement worth saying when the game just started and the score is 3-2. The supernatural nature of the guy with the red sweatband. We'll see him saunter towards the other end of the court. Then, in the next shot, he's back under the hoop waiting for a rebound that never was, like a ghost from The Sixth Sense. The back and forth between the D&D and basketball is so effective at building tension and showing Erica's growth through 4 seasons that the sins are somehow going upside down again. But also, it's a bunch of bullshit. There's no way all these tension-building moments are syncing up in real time like this.
He only has 15 hit points left.
Generally, in D&D, you wouldn't know how much health the bad guys have, just like you wouldn't know in real life. Eddie's taking it too easy on these assholes.
Let's kill the son of a bitch.
Insulting Vecna's mom.
Chances of success are 20-1. Never tell me the odds.
Okay, Dustin, the chances are 20. Good luck working with that information. Zack Snyder's Hoosier Things. The strangest thing about this episode is that Hawkins is the home team, and yet the abbreviation on the court says SHS instead of HHS.
After a tragic year for our town, the Tigers have brought home the conference title.
News positioning me with details from a basketball game I just witnessed.
The Special K. How long to kick in?
Acting like cereal doesn't kick in immediately. Let's get them oats, baby!
I don't like this, Christy! Wake up!
Thing I yell at my sleep paralysis demon somehow makes it into the episode. And yes, its name is Chrissy. Thinking skinless Voldemort is scarier than shinless Rick DeMort.
It's time for your suffering to end.
There are another 8 gigantic episodes in this season. So the Sin is saying this when my suffering has just begun. Yoga. Previously on Stranger Things Season 3 during Episode 2 of Stranger Things Season 4. You know, in case you spent all of Episode 1 wondering where the Hopper was. We preemptively sinned Hopper surviving this, but now we can see in great detail precisely how much of the survives this is happening. We have explosion, big explosion, super deadly vaporizing electricity, and a fall from a height that I'm going to deem as unsurvivable. That brings your total to carry the 4, subtract the plot armor. 5 million portions of survives this. Redeemable as 1 sin. Someone wants me to believe that a single cupped hand can hold enough water to swallow pills without choking to death, and I'm not buying it.
I can't be out here. Get back inside.
I know it would have trampled all over the immaculate timing of the jump scare. Bravo, by the way. But how your job are you if she managed to get this close in the first place? Okay, we've got bright clothing, goofy sunglasses, and even goofier multicolored cap, but I just wish someone would spell out exactly what decade we're in.
I handpicked those for you in Hawkins.
That's a superficially sweet way of saying I couldn't afford / couldn't be bothered to get you an actual gift, so here's something free that will be dead in a few hours.
What's that?
It's nothing. It's just this painting I've been working on.
Cool.
Will's disappointed that Mike doesn't seem all that impressed by the rolled up piece of brown paper he himself just described as nothing.
I want today to be about me and you.
That's why I brought these 3 other guys with me to the airport, so today can just be about me and you. It's so thoughtful of Murray to pick a flight with an arrival time close enough to Mike so that the production team could execute this nifty scene handoff. Hulk Hogan.
But I'm having this problem where it's like I should stop talking. I have said everything I need to say.
The MCU after 2019.
The most beautiful creature I have ever seen in my life.
Forest Hills Trailer Park.
Forget news position, which I'll send you here for in a second. Why is this television in a video rental store hooked up to cable or an antenna? Shouldn't these TVs just be hooked up to VCRs for displaying movies available to rent? What use would a video rental store have for network television? Also, news position. Sudden vomiting. Yes, this encounter's already running and will continue to run through this narration as punishment for this immediate cut to the chunkiest of spew fests.
Hawkins student got murdered. What? Yeah, it's on every channel.
And yet everyone we see watching the news in 3 different locations is watching Channel 9. None of these trespassing and underage drinking teens scatter at the sound of these approaching sirens.
I don't think anyone's going to care about the basketball game anymore.
Underestimating how much your average American cares about literally anything sport-related.
Would you be up for a field trip?
Sure, but only if we walk down the hall with a look of conviction in our eyes as we burst through the school doors, capped off with the camera panning away into a bright light. Yeah.
In the meantime, we recommend you keep your doors and windows locked tight.
Damn it, Dustin. The TV just told you to keep all the doors and windows locked. By the look on your face, you didn't even check to see who was at the door before blindly opening it. You're adorable, kid, but that doesn't make you...
The look on his face. He was scared, Dustin.
Not telling anyone about your apparent superpower of spotting facial expressions covered by long curls in the dark from your neighboring trailer.
Something else killed her.
But that's impossible, right?
I don't know. It should be.
Thinking anything is impossible on your 4th go-around with from the upside down.
There's only one person who knows what actually happened.
Eddie.
Well, technically Chrissy does too. But yeah, I can see why you're making Eddie the priority. Speak with dead never goes to plan.
I didn't see a body.
Because he evaporated.
Confusing evaporation for disintegration. Hopper didn't instantly become part of the water cycle, Murray.
You're going to find out who the hell sent you that letter.
But we're doing it my way.
Expecting me to believe that all of this sensitive electronic equipment survived the absolute trauma of a journey that your average stowed luggage takes.
Unless you tell me she's wearing a Russian uniform.
That's a surprisingly good Harrison Ford impersonation, Hop. I'd remove a sin if I thought this scene was intentionally written or performed that way. Words cannot express my extreme disappointment at the lack of an elephant in this scene. Okay, we've got Dead or Alive playing in the background. We've got neon clothing. We've got roller skates. But will someone please, once and for all, just explicitly spell out what decade we're in?
I asked for vomit green and I got vomit green. Isn't that awesome?
Having expectations so low that this qualifies as awesome.
It seems like the snitch has a boyfriend.
Is Elle even a snitch, though? She told the teacher that Angela had nothing to do with it. Being a bad liar isn't the same as being a snitch.
Look, I'm sure it's nothing, all right? Probably the neighbors complaining about the noise or some shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'd send 3 cop cars, including the sheriff, to address a noise complaint the morning after it was filed. You know, to stop all the noise after it's finished.
What does Eddie have to do with all this? Did that freak hurt her? He hurt Chrissy?
Did he hurt Chrissy?
Here, let me fix this scene to avoid inciting a mob. There's no evidence to support that, Jason. Innocent until proven guilty is 100% a thing. We have no idea if Eddie was even involved. You shouldn't immediately run off and assemble an angry mob to attack him. Literally say anything, officers. Ah.
Oh, Eddie. Your new best friend, Eddie, you think is cooler than me because he plays your nerdy game?
Being 19 years old and expressing this much concern that your 15-year-old buddy has a new 19-year-old to hang out with.
Well, first of all, you're not Jonathan.
Jonathan.
We're restricting access to residents only.
Her mom is working today, and we would really like to check in on her.
We're basically her nanny?
This works.
Okay, what was that? I said act casual.
Sorry.
Character has an extremely graphic and specific hallucination in a town where graphic and specific hallucinations literally come to life, kill people, and blow up malls, but chooses to say nothing. Cliché. Thinking that guns make a fart noise when you fire them. He knows they don't, right? It's very important to me that he knows guns outside of Minions movies don't make fart noises.
Because if I told her the truth, then she'd just throw her dreams out the window to come out here and be with me.
I know you've got to do something with the whole long-distance Nansonathan thing, but did it have to be so very much Saved by the Bell by way of Friends?
This next song is dedicated to Jane, the local snitch.
Angela pulled off a well-executed bully routine on amazingly short notice. She managed to bribe the DJ, retrieve a camcorder, and choreograph this swirling tornado of insults on skates. Pretty impressive considering she had no idea Elle was even going to be here.
Wipe out!
You see, Elle's carry in the chocolate shake is a PG-13 bucket of pig's blood. It's like Stephen King, but dialed up to 11. Mike has, with help, fought off multiple world-ending scenarios, but is prevented from getting to Elle by a couple of teens on wheels lightly crowding him.
Okay, you are now calling from Durham, North Carolina.
Murray accidentally inventing spam call centers.
He was strong American. Perhaps the motherland could use that strength.
So what we're saying here is that because Hopper has survived torture so far, they're going to quit the torture, give up on any information he might have about what screwed their plans in Hawkins, and instead of killing him, put him to work at a labor camp of some sort? Wow, the KGB really wanted him in season 4, didn't they?
Then let's go on some free!
Engaging in vigilantism without a cool costume. Everybody knows vigilantes only get away with their extrajudicial activities because of the sweet threads and gadgets.
Apparently Eddie gets his drugs from some guy named Reefer Rick.
Fun name and all, but we already know Eddie does more drugs than just reefer. And if he buys multiple drugs from Reefer Rick, then a decent dealer would have a name that properly reflected that. Plus, Narcotics Ned sounds much cooler.
Rick Alderman's latest rentals are Annie and Dumbo. What are the chances our drug dealer has a family?
Not likely.
Assuming a drug dealer can't like Disney movies. Do you even Fantasia, bro? Netflix trying to create a revisionist history where adventuring teens closing up shop early are to blame for the fall of video rental stores and not a certain streaming service.
I'm Nancy Wheeler from the Hawkins Tiger.
Wait, I'm confused. The Tigers are the school mascot. The name of the newspaper you work for is the Weekly Streak. Why would she say she's from the school mascot?
I've talked to enough reporters.
All of whom have politely decided to desert the entire trailer park despite the lady from Channel 9 saying they'd be there all day with breaking updates.
Nancy, come on, let's get out of here.
But he's just the cutest little witness.
Crack reporter Nancy has time for this.
You're Wayne Munson, aren't you?
Nancy and Fred doing the actual journalistic hard work of knocking down doors for a big scoop is immediately undermined by stumbling upon Eddie's uncle completely alone, unprotected by the police. Because, let's be real, who enjoys seeing hard work pay off when random chance is right there?
Let me tell your side of the story.
To a school newspaper with a solid readership of 12 to 15 people.
You think you know who might have done this?
You ever hear the name Victor Creel?
Whoa, this is a huge swing that ends up being much closer to the truth than it has any right to be. Nancy isn't a good reporter. She just made a pact with a luck demon or some shit.
Like that, what's his name, the White Mask, and killed the babysitters.
Michael Myers?
Considering who ends up playing Victor Creel, that kind of horror legacy blasphemy is a quick way to a nighttime visit from a certain Mr. Krueger.
Joyce, whoever Enzo is, the answer is not on that tape.
The answer will, of course, be on the tape.
She's mad at Enzo, calls him a musor.
Musor?
It's slang.
For what?
Often directed at cops.
Cops?
Or guards.
Show made Enzo smart enough to arrange this clandestine phone call, but dumb enough to attend it in his full guard uniform.
You made it super clear that you're not interested in anything I have to say.
It looks like she herself.
It does not. It looks like she had a milkshake poured over her, although now I'm wondering what Angela's frame of reference is for this clearly lived observation.
Angela!
While I have no sympathy for Angela, I do appreciate that the show doesn't treat this as a triumphant moment, but rather as a shocking one. Elle's explosion is understandable, but it's clear that braining a girl will have consequences, and that's the kind of nuance I can get on board with. Take your sin removal before reliving that soul-shaking skate funk to the skull changes my mind.
This is my friend Max. The one who never wants to play D&D?
This is how you choose to introduce Max to the volatile dungeon master who's already threatened one of your friends at Broken Bottle Point? Are you trying to get her killed?
We just want to talk.
Reaching for the broken glass bottle being wielded by a man who is clearly in shock. Are you trying to get stabbed?
Did you maybe see him leave with somebody, or...
I told you kids to go home. Jesus Christ.
No, you didn't, asshat. You told them they could visit Max and then just assumed all would be well. You let them roam around the entire trailer park, knocking down doors for the entire day, and apparently didn't notice.
It was like she was in a trance or something. Or under a spell. A curse. Vecna's curse.
It is kind of wild that there are so many similarities between your D&D game and the you end up facing from the upside down. At this point, I'd at least start asking some questions about how close to a Jumanji situation we're looking at here. No, I don't care that it's the 80s and Jumanji hasn't happened yet. Also, choosing a chump like Vecna for this season's D&D monster instead of picking a total Chad like Strahd. Whoever set the design brief for Vecna as kinda hot, but with the aesthetic of Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, merged with Emotep from The Mummy Returns. This confusing boner is on you, my friend. Figuratively. In case you confused it with Ruth, chapter 3, verse 7.
Sam!
Stranger Things season 4 waits until 40 seconds into episode 3 to Paul Reiser.
I was fired, in case you forgot.
A foreign government invaded our country all under your watch.
However, as a military man, isn't stopping foreign governments more your job? How exactly was Dr. Owens expected to stop Russians?
Where's her, sweetie?
Gonna guess that the large gash in her head is a good indicator that this question is f***ing stupid.
Blip, 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 blip.
Blip.
You kids like risotto?
Thinking there are kids in this world that like risotto.
Why don't I drop in and say hello to my old friends?
Awkward cover story is awkward because all cover stories in TV shows have to be awkward. Cliché.
This risotto is smacking, dude.
Still have no idea who he is.
That's Argylist.
We're gearing up. Preparing for the hunt.
Gathering supplies to track down the local stoner and not including a cardboard box, a stick, a string, and some mac and cheese. Choosing to kick in the door when the person you're trying to find hasn't slept in 3 days and might have brutally murdered someone in the last couple of them.
So we got some good news and some bad news. How do you prefer?
I don't know about the news, but Eddie probably prefers being brought a snack that doesn't require milk that you didn't provide to bring it to its highest quality of taste.
It was by the picnic table, is that correct?
While questioning Nancy, Chief Powell doesn't notice the Scooby Gang pull up, who he's well aware were involved in a lot of strange deaths that have happened over the last couple of years, and doesn't start questioning them as to why the f*** they're there. Wooing your friend's sad jump like that. He got like maybe 3 inches of air. At least save the woo for when your friend adds a spin or something.
I made you some Eggos, but they're getting kind of cold.
Bringing someone waffles that syrup has already been poured on and not even having the decency to bring a fork with said ruined waffles.
But you don't love me anymore?
Skip. Refusing to go see Police Academy 3 because...
It's just, the movie's supposed to suck.
But choosing instead to watch Ewoks.
Can you please just tell us where you're taking her?
Not sure, Jonathan. Gonna go out on a limb and guess the police station?
Everything's gonna be fine.
Unkeepable promises.
They play too much Nintendo, eat too much junk food, smoke some ganja, pound some beers, experiment sexually. I mean, really, what's the worst that can happen?
Murray says totally inappropriate and awkward to Joyce because he's Murray. Cliché.
I get rich, and you're a free man.
Believing, even in 1986, that 40K makes you rich.
Cigarettes, peanut butter, Playboys. The best America has to offer.
Leaving Oreos off the best America has to offer list.
Our working theory is that he attacks with a spell or a curse.
But isn't a curse just a spell with evil intentions? Redundancy doesn't make people sound more intelligent. It just makes them sound redundant. And it doesn't even make them sound more intelligent.
Should we maybe not be here?
They are at the scene and or in the vicinity of 2 murders, discussing said murder, and the murderer hasn't even been caught yet. How is Steve the most rational one at a table with Nancy, Max, and Robin?
I don't have a license.
Why don't you have a license?
I'm poor.
Why doesn't Steve know that Robin doesn't have a license is the more important question here. This one shot of Vecna in a tentacle web is a better Spider-Man movie than The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
He's in this band.
If that's what you can even call this.
Judging someone else's musical taste when it looks like yours starts and ends with Kenny Loggins.
It's gonna be hard to play those drums with a broken hand.
Rick Allen and his one arm have entered the chat.
I'm gonna need you to give me a verbal response.
Questioning a minor with no legal guardian or lawyer present. Even in the 80s, this is super f***ed. Airplanes that serve anything with gravy on it. Also, people on airplanes who choose to eat the food being served with gravy on it. Also, are those f***ing peas? Whoever gets stuck with peas cleanup duty after the flight has the right to sue the airline, and they should win immediately. Hopper's leg survives this enough for Hopper to successfully escape. Also, show thinks each episode has to be the length of a feature film, but then fills it f***ing around with prisons in Russia and Elle not adapting to California.
So that means these murders predate 11 and the Upside Down by about 30 years?
Yeah.
Which makes spooky Victor Creel like 70 years old.
If Robin can just be patient for another 32 years, she'll eventually see that Michael Myers was able to go on a murdering spree at 61 in Halloween H40 40 years later. You know that's exactly what that f***ing movie is. Admit it. Also, wouldn't it be super odd if Robert Englund was cast as Victor Creel, but not Vecna, who's clearly the Freddy Krueger wannabe? Glad that confusing casting choice would never happen.
Coming!
Title of my sex tape?
Are you implying that I still have a thing for Nance?
Look, it's bad enough we've got to deal with Hopper in the gulag and Elle on roller skates, but for the love of Vecna, please don't try and bring back the toxic relationship that is Steve-Nancy. I was just starting to finally like Steve.
I'll punch you so hard in your face that your teeth will fall back out.
Oh. Too far.
Not cool. Sorry.
Not cool. It's okay.
I don't know how these two have kept such a consistent, charming bro chemistry over 4 seasons, but Dustin and Steve are a fucking riot every time they're together. Go ahead and remove us in before I remember Lucas is playing the role of Judas right now and that Mike is still a character on this show.
Well, let's leave that up to the police, shall we?
Episode expects me to believe that there are still citizens of Hawkins who say, let's leave that up to the police, and I do not believe you, episode. People who conveniently label their own keys to their own things so that people can conveniently know which keys to use when breaking into said things is convenient.
I think some real bad shit's about to go down.
What are you talking about? What bad shit?
The idea that even after the Battle of Starcourt, Max feels the need to ever ask this question.
I'll take her off your hands.
This works.
Welcome to Alaska!
Forcing your passengers to deplane at the airport apron in a snowstorm instead of connecting them to a terminal. Stranger Things spends way too much thought on whether or not it's had enough scenes that have made me throw up over the first 4 seasons.
You do know that Steve and I are like totally not a thing, right?
Episode has time for this.
Don't they write about, like, Bigfoot and UFOs?
First of all, UFOs are absolutely real. Bigfoot, I'm still on the fence about.
Being all in the bag for tiny green men flying around in spaceships, but believing that a creature with rather large feet is just out of the question.
I mean, it sounds pretty insane. It just didn't go public because
the plea bargain, the records were sealed.
If the records were sealed, how did the conspiracy theory newspaper get the information? Stealing Tarantino's patented trunk shot. Better be careful, duffers. QT has a couple of Vega brothers and the Bible-quoting, shouting Jules Winfield he could send your way with a snap of the fingers. Although, some foot pics would probably get you off the hook pretty quickly.
Am I in trouble?
For the roller skate thing? No. We'll make that go away.
Then why in the did I have to spend any time watching any of the roller skating sequences? Clearly, the show decided that whole subplot was silly, well after the viewers realized it.
Hawkins is in danger.
Cliché.
I don't have my powers.
What if I told you there was a way to bring them back?
Then I'd ask the question, why the did you take Elle's powers away in season 3 if you're just going to give them back to her 3 episodes into the next season, causing false tension that no one needed or wanted, and maybe we could have just gotten rid of all this extra and unnecessary narrative fluff, and the season wouldn't have to end on a 2+ hour episode?
I believe you're the cure.
Robert Smith has entered the chat, and he's pissed. Well, pissed in a super unemotive way.
What if I'm the monster?
But Elle's not the monster. We've had over 3 seasons of her saving the day to show even if she at once was the monster, she's definitely not one now. This season needs to stop wasting time questioning things we already have the answers to and get to some hot, creepy Vecna action. The most unbelievable part of this episode is that Elle has left waffles uneaten, not once, but fucking twice.
I'll work to contain the situation until 11 is ready. In the meantime, it is of vital importance that you do not speak to anyone about this.
Thinking it's remotely possible to get kids to not tell anyone about anything after they've been told not to tell anyone.
Then the nightmares. Trouble sleeping. They'd wake up in a cold sweat. And then they started seeing things.
Vecna provides similar symptoms to what happens when only watching 24-hour news stations for a week. Gotta mix up that TV viewing a little better by adding in some, Stranger Things or Top Chef or maybe YouTube channels that are supposed to be doling out the sins of a particular episode of television, but instead of a continuous stream of dick jokes. So many dick jokes.
All I know is that for Fred and Chrissy, they both died less than 24 hours after their first vision.
Max might know that about Chrissy, but Fred's been dead for less than a day at this point. When even was his last appointment with the school counselor? Because I think he spent at least 24 hours with Nancy working on the Chrissy story and wouldn't have had time to go talk to the counselor. This sounds less like something Max would know and more like something the writers needed Max to know. Stranger Things characters think they hear a monster and it's only one of the fucking kids being a dick. Cliché. Thinking any single thing about the asshole formerly known as Billy could be misconstrued to be deer.
Each day of covering costs $10 with a DPR. That's a daily percentage rate of 7.9%. Another week of this and he's buying me a goddamn Nintendo with Duck Hunt.
The NES cost $199.99 when it first debuted. Erica's covered for her brother for 2 days at a rate of $10 a day. That means Lucas owes her $20. Add in the DPR of 7.9% and the total for 2 days becomes $20.58. Even if she adds another full week, that's still only $97.11. She wouldn't even have enough to purchase half of an NES, let alone one with Duck Hunt.
Honestly, Henderson, a little humility every now and then, it wouldn't hurt you.
Steve saying this with a straight face and not getting hit upside the head with the black kettle that he most definitely deserves to get hit by.
You're out of your mind if you think I'm babysitting again.
Thing Joe Keery tells Netflix when he gets the Stranger Things scripts every season somehow makes it into the episode.
You have a Tom Cruise poster.
Jonathan was suggesting to Will and Mike that they go see Police Academy 3 in the previous episode, which was released in March of 1986. So Robin is getting this excited over a Tom Cruise poster at least a few weeks before Top Gun was even released. Which means she's getting this worked up because of Risky Business, All the Right Moves, The Outsiders, Endless Love, Taps, Legend, or fucking Losing It, which outside of maybe Risky Business has made me lose a little respect for Robin Buckley, not to mention Nancy for having this poster in the first place. Why would you do that to me, Stranger Things? Why?
Holy shit, there's a little ballerina in here.
Holy shit, have you never seen a music box before?
Joyce, there are certain things one can be late to in life. A dentist appointment, a 1-year-old's birthday party, because who cares?
Actually, do you want to know who cares if you're late for a baby's birthday party? The parents. The party isn't for the baby, it's for the parents to celebrate surviving 1 year of making it through sleepless newborn hell. Give them a little consideration, asshole.
Amazing you can get this many people and have it this quiet.
Title of my orgy tape? Sure was nice of Elle to leave Mike a note, but where did they get the cardstock? Did the government scientists hit up a Hallmark store on the way to pick up Elle? It's not usually an item found in a diner.
Maybe I should have said something. And if I would have said that thing, then maybe she'd want me there with her, wherever she is.
Or maybe we could skip.
Looks like it's going to be up to us again.
That's a weird way of saying Elle will have to come in and save everyone's asses again. But sure, go with us, Mike. Totally accurate.
What are you worried about? Ponch and John out there? They're half asleep right now watching golf.
What Jonathan doesn't seem to understand is that this means they're watching golf correctly.
But I still highly recommend slapping some juicy pineapple on your pie.
I know there's been serious debate about whether or not to put pineapple on pizza, and I just want to say that people should do whatever they want with their pizzas. And if they want to put pineapple on them, then they're wrong.
If we go to East Hawkins, will this still reach Penhurst?
East Hawkins? This sentence for towns that arbitrarily cut off a piece of themselves and then try to make it a separate city with a cardinal direction in the name.
No. No. No.
No.
I know a good lawyer.
Steve gives in to this line even when it's spoken by a 15-year-old that most likely does not know a good lawyer or is just putting the word good before lawyer. You choose. I choose both. I know we should send the whole women struggling to walk in high heels cliche, but let's just fucking send high heels in general, okay? They're a fucking ridiculous invention and no one should have to walk in them at all.
You know what they say. Those who can't do, teach.
The original quote is actually, those who can do, those who can't teach, which is as equally a shitty thing to say to a class of workers who are already underpaid and underappreciated.
Other kids, they wanted to be astronauts, basketball players, rock stars, but I wanted to be you. I wanted to be you, so forgive me if I'll now try anything in my power, including wearing this ridiculous outfit, if I might get the chance to speak to the man that ignited my passion and learn a little bit more about how his twisted, but let's face it, totally fascinating mind works.
Maya fucking Hawke.
If things go sideways, I should mention I'm now a black belt in karate.
The number of times karate has been useful to save someone in danger in real life is equivalent to the number of yellow starbursts I eat when I buy a package. 0.
And he love bears.
They broke his heart. Rather puncture it with the bear claws.
I know this is a joke and not a real story, but regardless, I should point out bears do not break or simply puncture hearts. Much like Maggie Reinhardt, my elementary school crush, did, they rip them the apart.
I love the smell of cash in the morning.
Thinking cash smells different at different times of the day. Unless you meant morning. Cash that's recently lost a friend definitely smells different because usually their friend got traded in for metal remnants of coins that smell like iron and copper and shit. And who loves that? I guess what I'm saying is let your cash process its emotions however it needs to and quit getting your jollies off smelling its pain. Hopper's plan depended on him perfectly breaking the shaft of a sledgehammer. That wasn't a dream I had. That's what fucking happened in this episode, and it is so stupid. He's taken out or possibly killed one of the soldier's comrades. He's also clearly attempting an escape. Why is the soldier asking Hopper a question, not to mention in a language Hopper doesn't even understand, instead of just shooting him? Storing dynamite where the prisoners have access to it. This Russian guard clearly attended the Stormtrooper Academy for aiming at things.
That thing's got batteries in it, right? I'm not even answering that question.
Dustin would be the walkie-talkie at TVSins. Honestly, I don't even know what that designation means. I just like to say walkie-talkie. Walkie-talkie.
Oh, Mr. Bradley let me off early, so just catching up on some chores.
Convenient mother appearing for last-second emotional connection is convenient.
Nothing is going to happen, baby. Promise.
Except everything will happen to Max. For some reason, the show decided to move pincushion duties this season from Will to Max. But Will did get stuck with the bowl cut, so honestly not sure who got off easier this season.
Hey, that was longer than 20 seconds.
Rushing someone who most likely only has hours left to live.
We found that music has a particularly calming effect on the broken mind.
It does? I mean, of course it does. That's exactly why I pump nonstop Cradle of Filth into the TVSins intern room at near deafening volume. You know, for calming effects.
Guess I'm just nervous. I mean, excited. So excited to speak with Victor. Preferably, as she said, alone?
Yes. Why not?
We'll find out the doc leaves to go make sure their story isn't bullshit, which is understandable. But also means it makes no sense why he's let them go speak to Victor alone while he takes care of this.
You got visitors. Real pretty ones.
The security officer. Giving your patients tables made out of what appears to be talcum powder. I'd just like to point out again that this season is not even trying to hide that Vecna is a half-ass homage / ripoff of Freddy Krueger. They even cast Robert Englund this season, for f***'s sake.
I'm just being a total self-pitying idiot.
Mike's just realizing this now? This has been his issue since season 1. Maybe the show's using Mike's assholishness to his friends to explain how the resulting anxiety and stress has aged them all 8 years over what is canonically barely a 2-year period. Seriously, guys, Stockard Channing is more realistic as a high schooler at this point.
Pizza time. I got it.
Having a f***ing cow when Jonathan wanted to go to the kitchen to grab something to drink, but being this willy-nilly about opening the door to a stranger because there might be pizza on the other side of it. Worst government security detail ever.
Hello there.
Showing up to a house to secretly murder everyone wearing army fatigues. Luckily, this guy walked into the worst government security detail ever. I've never been in a shootout before, but I'd like to think I wouldn't ask such dumbass questions in the middle of said shootout.
I shoot, you run!
Not giving a direction to where to run is part of your instruction.
Oh my God, why is that guy on the gun?
I think the more important question is, why isn't that man actually shooting the gun currently instead of just holding it? Because if it had been any part of the last 90 seconds, he would have been firing away already. Do Russian authorities not have helicopters? I mean, I know they do because I've watched James Bond films, so how was Hopper able to just ride out in the open like this with zero consequences? Hopper's toes will survive these below freezing temperatures. Eating peanut butter without washing your hands. You've been in a Russian prison in the f***ing 80s. Once again, I've seen James Bond films. I know what I'm talking about. Your bacteria has bacteria by now. I've known Yuri for about 10 minutes, and I already know the answer to this question. Why doesn't Enzo? Hopper hasn't tried to hide even once since he's been on the run, so regardless of being betrayed, he shouldn't be shocked the authorities have found him. Stranger Things had to spend almost 4 entire episodes this season to get to Hopper escaping, only to have Hopper get captured again almost immediately. Awesome.
Max, you know you can talk to me, right?
Obviously, she literally just said,
I told you. I'm fine. Okay? I mean, as fine as someone who's hurtling towards a gruesome death can be.
What more does she need to talk to you about, Lucas? F***ing Lucas.
We had 1 month of peace in that house, and then it began.
Staying in a house that clearly doesn't want you to stay in it. Also known as pulling an Amityville horror.
This was no wildcat. This was an evil. And evil neither animal nor human. This was a spawn of Satan.
To be fair, mutilating small animals is like step 1 in the serial killer playbook, so I think human should at least still be on the table. Also, if there is certainty that an evil is at work, I'm not sure what sitting on the porch with a shotgun is going to accomplish. Shotguns are more geared to kill wildcats or humans than evil entities. The scariest part here is that if the police were informed of the spider infestation, they would probably just stick with the wildcat theory.
I suppose all evil must have a home.
Possibly, but I want to stress this point again. You do not have to share a home with the evil. Stranger Things, always being so on brand with their musical choices, missed a golden opportunity to have We Didn't Start the Fire playing over this scene of baby murder. And I won't stand for it.
Hatch, stop the bleeding.
And subsequent infection after the bleeding from an unwashed razor. Don't forget that. Everyone doesn't call Hatch Mr. Disinfectant for nothing.
Dear Billy, I don't know if you can even hear this.
Confusing deaf with death.
And the worst part is, I can't tell anyone why you're gone.
What was even the cause of death for him? Mall squid attack? How do they even keep covering these deaths up?
I stood there and I watched.
Sadie Sink's ability to convey Max's combination of complex grief and survivor's guilt is the crux of this episode and the first half of the season. That's worth the sin off.
Max. Max. Max.
Max.
Hey, that's our sin, asshole. F***ing Vecna.
Oh, something's wrong.
It really is. We've crossed the 1 hour mark and the episode still isn't f***ing over.
You know, I think there's a part of you buried somewhere deep that wanted me to die that day.
Oh, Mr. Vecna, or Fake Billy, or whatever you are, that was actually me. I hated Billy and prayed for his downfall, and I also thought that his little redemption arc was bullshit and came out of nowhere.
Lucas, please help! Dustin!
Forgetting about Steve, the guy who's been driving you around all day against his will. Being stuck in a nightmare world about to die does not give you the right to be a dick to Steve, Max.
What are you doing in here, Max?
Vecna is asking Max what she's doing here when Vecna has led Max to here. Max is running towards that hole. Also, Vecna could create these f***ing nightmare worlds and trap kids in them, but can't catch up with a running teenager. Is there not a gym in this world? Vecna needs to work on that cardio. I don't say this lightly, but I feel this entire scene, from the amazing orchestral take on Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush to Max's sprint of desperation, all comes together as the finest sequence in all of Stranger Things so far.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Yeah. No way Stranger Things Season 4 would have Max go through all that traumatic bullshit, have her come back, and then eventually make her blind, hobbled, and in a coma. Glad that never happens.
Keep putting pressure on him! More pressure! Here's the napkin!
Or you could try something more absorbent than a fast food napkin, like one of your t-shirts, a piece of paper, or oxygen. Also, trusting any potentially absorbent material in the back of Argyle's van to bring about anything other than sepsis.
You gotta get us to St. Mary's! I don't think praying's gonna help that dude, man!
For once, I agree with Argyle. But if you were going to pray to a patron saint, you don't want Mary. You want Saint Raphael, the patron saint of healing. Like, do you even Catholicism, Jonathan? The soldier completes a robust search of this closet by looking under 2 blankets, moving a basket, and presumably shouting, "Clear!"
That would have paved the road, but kind of ruins the whole top secret location thing.
Because a dirt road leading to a 6-foot metal door in the middle of the desert doesn't look conspicuous at all.
We repurposed it to hold something much more powerful than a missile. You.
Citation needed.
We call her Nina.
All machines built and used by men must use female pronouns. Cliché.
Hello, 11.
Hold up, isn't he supposed to be dead? And evil? Either way, I'm preemptively sinning his redemption arc and or death fake out that I shouldn't be expected to remember.
Не вам его убивать! Идиоты!
Deus Ex kill you later, Inna?
We gambled today, and we lost.
This platitude being enough to spare Dimitri from redecorating Hopper's knuckles. Looks like Yuri got a diploma in kinetic adjustments from the Every Broken Machine Ever School of Fixing Things.
I buy for $1.30 here, sell for $20 there.
You can't do that. Only American grocery stores get to use that trick.
Hold tight. This is not American Airlines. It's going to get a bit choppy.
Little known internet fact, Yuri would go on to use his newly acquired fortune to set up Spirit Airlines.
When Rick get out of jail? Justice system's a goddamn joke.
2022 not realizing how good the 80s had it compared to 2022. And 2022 not realizing how good 2022 had it compared to 2025.
Could try sticking together at a different house for a change.
Giving relatable lines to a random character nobody likes enough to remember or remembers enough to like.
God, we need Will.
Wishing more upside down on your heavily traumatized pincushion of a so-called best friend. Nancy uses her never-before-mentioned mind palace to see a complete puzzle that she has to handcraft the pieces for so she can recreate a memory of a grainy photo she saw a day earlier. AKA, this works. Also, I guess the equally lucky part of the Vecna curse allows for Max to remember all of these different components of the spooky house and draw them in a way that would fit together with a bit of origami. This episode is just short of feature length, mainly so that we can feel good about watching 60 full seconds of Elle walking from one room to another.
We shouldn't have just thrown her in there like this.
Agreed. You should have calmly explained to Elle that you were going to hook her into a machine that would allow her to revisit repressed memories and regain her powers. And if you wanted to maintain some kind of illusion, why shock her with the arrival of Dr. Brenner? That was totally unnecessary. Wait, where did they find 2 shovels and a hoe out in the desert? I refuse to believe they were in Argyle's pizza delivery van. In fact, that would be even more suspicious. Were people just leaving garden equipment out on the side of the road in the 80s?
That government dude's after your super girlfriend, right? So maybe the cops can help us find out where she is.
Trusting the police when corrupt government agents just tried to kill your friends and chased your van into the desert.
If that guy would have lived one more second, we would know where she is. Why didn't he just say the number?
Complaining that the guy who died saving your life and the lives of your friends died too quickly.
Sometimes I think it's just scary to open up like that. To say how you really feel.
What about your woman, She's captured, yes, but still alive.
Closer I get with Joyce, the more danger she's in.
True, but right now she's in very specific danger of the being kidnapped and sold variety, and your pity party isn't going to fix that.
You know, for the first time in my life, I think I'm thinking straight.
The perspective one can only receive after being 3 years removed from a premature reboot of an IP no one was asking for, I would guess.
I used to think I was cursed. Ever since I was 18. There's some letter of induction in the mail. Uncle Sam wants me to go fight some war in the jungle.
The level of hubris it takes to turn the conscription of almost 2 million men into a personal curse bestowed upon you specifically.
The minute I sent for Joyce, the minute I sent for her, I sentenced her to death.
Yeah, it does seem like a pretty out-of-character move considering you sacrificed yourself to save Joyce in the first place. It's almost like some guiding hand wanted your story to continue and needed to find a narratively exciting way to weave Joyce into your rescue, despite it undermining a pretty epic conclusion to your arc.
The devil is here. I can feel his presence.
If that's true, may I suggest that you are performing this funeral in the wrong church?
I made a list. Everywhere these freaks have been seen, we divide and conquer.
Okay, first of all, when did you make this comprehensive list and how did you confirm its veracity? Who did you canvass between now and finding these pictures to know where the Hellfire Club has been hanging out? Second, you're talking about a group of kids that we know hang out at the video store, arcade, school, each other's houses, random forests, the movie theater, and more. So his list should basically read, search all of Hawkins. Also, we're about to get a look at this list, and they've already crossed off Lucas's house and Mike's house. But there's nothing to say that's not where the kids are now. You have to check all these places simultaneously unless you're assuming they don't plan on returning home at any point.
We should add Reefer Rick's house to this.
What?
They haven't tried Eddie's drug dealer yet? Okay, he's in prison, but his name has never come up in this circle and it wasn't even on this list?
I found a key.
I would have removed all the sins ever if Robin just hilariously smashed that window with one of those fake bricks that has the actual key in it.
They just left everything.
Guess a triple homicide isn't good for resale value.
Maybe that explains why the house wasn't resold, but what about all the stuff in there? That's some good shit, and this is the 80s. Someone would have stolen it.
I need to take a piss here.
Just give it up. He can't hear you. He can't hear.
Okay, but there's a big difference between a hostage begging for a potty break and an entire box of glass jars shattering. Not to mention, I've seen people kill for less than smashing their supply of peanut butter.
My leg is too short. Can you grab that shard with your foot?
But he's sitting even further away from it than you are. Okay, he's taller, but are his legs that much longer?
You know karate. You said you were a black belt.
We're 10,000 feet in the air, Joyce. I take him. Who flies this plane?
Murray would be a karate master at TVSins.
Look who finally decided to join us.
I love that Ella's gone from monster fighter to Groundhog Day spectator. What a thrilling development for us to spectate upon.
Every day she would return to the train station to await her lover's return. A return that would never be. If only Nina could know the truth.
That men would rather perish tragically in a duel than go to therapy? Yes, if only every Nina understood that.
You're just missing out on all the fun.
Yeah, just think, you could be in Hawkins right now dealing with the murderous Bible thumpers or whatever the f*** Mike and Will are doing in the desert.
We don't have much time.
You do. Unfortunately, there's 30 minutes left in this episode for some reason. The fact that we have no reason to believe Elle was wearing this bodysuit under her regular clothes raises all of the get the f*** away from the unconscious minor questions.
I know it sounds insane, but Susie saved the world last year.
Season 4 wasting time desperately trying to remind us that Season 3 wasn't all bad.
Looks like Rick's had company.
Leaving the door to your secret hideout wide open.
It's him.
He's right. Only Eddie eats SpaghettiOs. Couldn't possibly be anyone else. Case closed.
Hey, anyone's there? I really think I might be in a bit of trouble here.
So that's why Steve left the bag at the front of the house. It didn't make any sense when I saw it happen, but it's clear to me now that he was just goosing the tension for the dreary Chase Billy Down B-plot. Great job, Steve.
I wish we had a longer loop.
46 minutes isn't bad.
I'd be more worried about how many batteries that 1980s Walkman is going through if it's constantly playing all day. Those things were thirstier than a Patrick Swayze dance number.
We're gonna find Vecna and kill him before he even thinks about messing with you again.
Way to immediately make an unkeepable promise. I'm pretty sure the only person who has escaped his tendrils is all Vecna's thinking about right now. Stranger Things characters follow flickering lights to uncover the next part of the mystery. Cliché.
Why do you waste so much time with her?
Thing I ask about Nancy Wheeler every season somehow makes it into the episode. I love it when shows shy away from obvious metaphors in these hallucinations. Elle looks down and sees blood on her hands, but what does it actually mean? After all of that, he heard the peanut butter gently clinking against the chair? Or maybe he just noticed it. I'm still sitting it though because it made sounds.
You can still break. Not if I break you first.
Getting the drop on someone, then immediately ruining it by talking before acting.
My fingers are like arrows.
Cool, but pretty useless without a bow and some dexterity.
But turn this plane around and I will spare your life.
You must have one of those guns that refuses to fire bullets until its target has stopped talking and had a fair chance to kick it into uselessness. Can you even strangle a man through a scarf while wearing winter gloves? I mean, I'm sure it's not comfortable, but is it deadly?
My feet like spears!
Using your spear as a bludgeoning weapon instead of a piercing weapon.
I thought you didn't know how to fly!
I know!
Hitting switches and buttons for no reason. Joyce, Murray, Yuri, and some of the peanut butter survives this.
Everyone, turn off your flashlights and spread out.
Taking the Scooby-Doo approach to searching a spooky house you know for a fact is haunted by a betendrilled serial killer.
Okay, what's happening?
All evidence points to the most unexciting single-color rave, or a seizure. While I haven't experienced a cardiac arrest under the same specific conditions as Elle did here, I can confidently say that I don't think she'd be able to run like this so soon after.
Papa. Daughter.
Trusting the guy who repeatedly keeps trying to brainwash you before enough brainwashing has happened to 100% blame it on the brainwashing.
Where is he?
Playing the pronoun game during a murder investigation.
He's made a pact with the devil. Now he has his powers.
Another devil getting blamed for he never did cliché. He's probably in hell, minding his own business, mixing pineapple with Italian foods when he sees this and is like, I'm responsible for what now? Pfft, I wouldn't be caught dead in Indiana. Nice eyeball work, though. Also, you couldn't get power from a pact until the Warlock class, and that wasn't introduced into D&D until 2004.
How do you expect to stop the devil if you don't believe he's real?
Tinkerbell logic. Oh, back to killing teenagers you barely know and have little connection to wasn't scary enough for you? Well, what if he killed this fish? Oh yeah, now you're scared. Don't you act like you're not. No. I wonder when we collectively decided that a group of people walking down a corridor staring just above the camera was cool, provided it was in slow motion. I feel comfortable blaming Hitchcock.
But just as a stroke victim can learn to walk again, I believe you too can return to your full power.
Ignoring the fact that many stroke victims never fully recover just because the analogy fits with all the other medically adjacent sci-fi bullshit they keep throwing at us.
Everything that took place in my lab was captured on videotape. Every success and every failure.
Just imagine the scale of secrecy needed to secretly hire a secret moving company to secretly move this many truckloads of secret tapes from your old destroyed secret lab to your new secret lab in the desert. Secretly.
You have demons in your past. That is why we must proceed carefully.
Which is why I'm giving you no information at all and initially just 3 in the tank with no warning. We shall proceed carefully with reckless abandon.
Here, I'm taking 5.
You just took 5.
Yeah, well, tell Milo to take it easy on the irons next time.
Episode besmirches Milo's good name in lieu of sending this man to a gastroenterologist, all to justify the convenient availability of this walkie-talkie.
I mean, where is the FBI?
There was an eyewitness.
That's what I want to know. We got a serial killer on the loose.
Armchair quarterbacking a murder investigation.
Is Susie here?
Ow!
Kids. Also, he just shot that arrow, so why is it still notched? And no, I don't believe Legolas here was able to draw a follow-up arrow between cuts.
You elf-skin, you dry meat stomach.
This is my kind of party.
F***ing what now?
How many times do I have to tell you? That is not a toy!
I know that childproofing wasn't invented until 2021, but rumor has it locks did exist in the 80s.
I thought you were dead.
You should both be dead. I sin thee on behalf of the audience, rational thought, and at least 3 distinct branches of science.
Could be a town, could be a house. Maybe somebody there knows where we can find this prison.
The top secret prison. Really?
Joyce would be excellent at TVSins. If only she hadn't died tragically by plane crash.
The thing is, we don't need to kill you. We can just leave you here.
Thinking the morally correct answer to the trolley problem is walking away after disabling the lever. Stranger Things watched Denethor consuming food in Return of the King and took that as a challenge-accepted opportunity.
Первый вечер суда 6 мужиков загнали. А ночью их всех посадили в яму.
There's always got to be that veteran prisoner who has information specific enough to scare the shit out of everyone, but not specific enough to be useful.
Хотят, чтобы мы окрепли, чтобы набрались силы.
Not realizing that starving and beating your prisoners, then giving them a greasy meal of meat and booze, and then sending them off to fight a monster will do more harm than good. You're more likely to have them puking on your monster than giving it a fair fight.
Будем держаться вместе, а?
I applaud the way these prison men have accepted their former abuser, Dimitri the prison jailer, into their ranks instead of beating him to death as expected. Doesn't make any sense, so my applause may sound like a ding. Playing Plinko without having a trip to the Poconos as incentive.
17, would you open the door?
Brenner asked the second tiniest kid in the room to open the door a billion times his size because the show has frankly run out of new ways to show us that Brenner is an abusive ass. I remember my mom saying that watching too much TV would turn my eyes square, but I have no memory of this warning applying to elbows too.
But I did know you. And I'm sorry.
He was supposed to be here for the break, and then he backed out at the last minute.
Sorry, Coco Lady, got enough juice in there for one more? This force is just littered with emotional garbage.
Jesus, we thought you were a goner.
Thing Mary said in that cave way back when somehow makes it into the episode.
And we are now doing everything in our power to find him.
Except we're not currently doing that because we're holding this stupid town hall meeting explaining that we haven't found him, which is now preventing us from finding him even more. Update, we still haven't found him.
But I can't bear to listen to any more excuses and lies.
That's enough.
It will, in fact, not be enough, because Powell will let Jason and the dumb f***ing knots here incite a religious mob for all the why bother even having a sheriff amount of the sometime.
Last night I saw things I can't explain.
What I can't explain is why he's no longer being detained as a person of interest in the murders. Dated one of the victims? Check. Found holding the dead body of another victim? Check. As far as the cops know, Jason's been at 100% more murder scenes than Eddie.
They call themselves Hellfire.
Hawkins is a small town, so why does everyone march away instead of immediately turning to the parents of Dustin, Mike, and Lucas, who they would absolutely recognize as the parents of the Hellfire Club?
Then I remembered Romans 12:21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
Jason is playing fast and loose with his scripture interpretation, so they'll fit his situation and the point he's trying to make. So I guess the sin here is using the Bible as it was originally intended.
And God knows there's good in this town.
Citation needed.
And the Nina Project is the code name for a video game.
Well, no, it's not just a video game. It's a video game console.
All this talk of video games reminds me of this awesome game I once played called Eat Lead. It's basically video game sins wearing the mask of a first-person shooter. The main character knew he was in a game and he'd quip about video game tropes in a hilarious, sarcastic manner. Oh man, I played the heck out of that thing. Never did manage to complete it, but I hold it dear to my heart as a fellow sinner of things I love. And the fact that I've spent so long talking about a game from the late zeros that is honestly only tangentially related to what's happening on screen should tell you a lot about my current level of investment in this C-plot.
Why have I never heard of it?
Because it's top secret. It's for the promotion. The first people to find the secret location receive,
American Tendo?
An American Tendo.
Full disclosure, I was actually around in the 80s. And a promotion like this would have been the biggest deal in the entire freaking universe. Every kid in America would know about it. And guess what? That's how promotions work. They'd want everyone to know about it. Now, I have no issue with these guys coming up with a plan as stupid as this, but I do take issue with mega super big brain genius Susie not needing a fresh bull heck detector after listening to this ridiculousness.
But it looks like you came all the way here for nothing.
That awkward moment when the writers accidentally let it slip that they don't know what to do with 1/4 of the cast anymore.
I know exactly what time it was. My walkie wasn't the only thing that got soaked.
Listen, I can spot a Casio watch from 100 meters away, and even in the 80s, the only reason those bad boys wouldn't survive a tactical nuclear strike was if your story needed a plot-convenient technical malfunction.
Boom!
Making unnecessarily loud noises when you're on the run is not a smart idea, and that is why I'm sending this moment, and totally not because of the little bit of pee that came out of me when my TV suddenly screamed at me.
But what if, somehow, there's another gate?
Sure, this could be a genuine Dustin thought, but it sure does sound like the unfinished thought on a post-it note from the writer's room coffee machine that accidentally transposed itself into the script.
I say you're asking me to follow you into Mordor, which, if I'm totally straight with you, I think it's a really bad idea. But, the Shire is burning.
Nice try, but the Shire wasn't torched until after the fall of Mordor. So you wouldn't go to Mordor to stop the Shire from burning. Read a book.
Stay in your circle. If you leave your circle, you lose.
This game is heavily weighted against two, who has to keep fighting people over and over without a break, whereas each new opponent has the advantage of coming in fresh. What we need here is some kind of March Madness tiered bracketing system, or to stop experimenting on kids. The way they get nosebleeds, his shirt should have been absolutely drenched with blood by the time he mind fights with Elle.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, not in a church.
Yeah, that's the last place for Jesus these days. Chekhov's aggressively operated lighter. For clarity, I'm not saying the guard's name is Chekhov. I mean, it could be, actually, in this situation. But I'm talking about the Russian writer who popularized... Damn it, where's that ding? I'm dying out here.
I have a son, Mikhail. I cannot leave this world with him believing his father is a traitor.
You are, though. You helped a prisoner escape for money and got several guards killed in the process.
You son of a bitch.
Man laughs at another guy while saying,
You son of a bitch.
As if to affirm the testosterone levels are set to predator handshake. Cliché.
Don't make me laugh. My ribs are broken. Don't make me laugh.
With all of the beatings he's had, his everything should be broken. You remember his f***ed up ankles? Hopper doesn't.
And we're in.
I don't think a hacker in a television show or movie is even allowed to hack without saying these 3 words.
Hold your butts.
Oh, come on. Hold on to your butts is a film reference that won't even make sense for another 7 years. Are the Duffer Brothers even trying anymore?
Can you print this?
No, my skills end at IP geolocation.
Susie's the heckin' best. However, giving us a season of Argyle as a recurring character and not Susie.
Slow down!
The 80s were a simpler time, but were they so simple that watching your daughter exit a room with 3 boys you don't know wouldn't elicit a response of at least mild perturbance? This is her reward for winning that face-off? She gets an extra hour to play Plinko? This top secret lab where they exploit children and hold them against their will is so unfair. Having a secret lab that is soundproofed so poorly that you can hear the screams of victims from down a hall and into the rec room seems like it would be absolutely horrible for morale. Something absolutely horrifying and abusive is going on here, and I'm not just talking about the obvious hate crime, which is the 21 cuts in this 14-second scene.
What have you done?
Raising an army of unstable child warriors with telekinetic powers and being any level of befuddled when one of them snaps and does a mass murder. Steve said something about being the school swim team co-captain, but I don't remember him being the co-captain of the holding your breath for an inhumanly long time and navigating in a pitch black pond team. Hard agree. One of you should have realized that keeping at least one pair of working lungs behind might be smart considering all the CPR that's about to be needed. Cliffhangers still being a thing that exists in a world where Netflix has already skipped the credits before Steve's scream has even finished. And I've barely had a chance to confuse my last swig of Mountain Dew with the cup I'm definitely not peeing into during my Stranger Things binge fest.
Hey there.
It is the 80s, the golden era of one-liners, and you chose "Hey there" for your dramatic entrance? Come on, Nancy, watch more TV.
It's just that rabies are like my #1 greatest fear, and I think we should probably get you to a doctor like really soon, because once the symptoms set in, it's too late. You're already like dead.
If it really was her #1 fear, Robin would know that it can take months until symptoms appear. The real reason Steve should see a doctor is that it's dumb to die of rabies, especially if it's because of something a guy on the internet told him. Also, the subtitles for this scene omitted like half of the times that Robin said like. So I had to go back and add them in myself because the Netflix subtitler got lazy. Anyway, here is a sin.
All right. There's not that many.
Just think of how you guys could have slipped back through the portal if someone hadn't been talking about rabies. Sure, Coca-Cola is probably evil in its own right. However, if 11 must kill a product placement, why not take aim at the true carbonated abomination known as Moxie?
But I don't see any progress out there, Martin.
To be fair, she did ragdoll a bunch of security guards 2 movies ago. I mean, episodes. F it, I mean movies. These things are too damn long.
If you want Nina to succeed, you cannot hide from the truth, no matter how frightening it may be.
Elle can't remember what happened because she's distracted by Matthew Modine's hair. And because bullshit sci-fi procedures don't work if you take away the suspense.
The door is always open. This place is not a prison.
She's been stopped from leaving under her own accord twice. He needs to at least acknowledge the possibility that this is an escape room.
You chose to trust me once.
This works.
How much time did you skip?
Hard to say. When you started bloating your episodes to over an hour, I began to skip more frequently.
The good news here is that I'm pretty sure that wooziness is not a common symptom of rabies.
But weakness/fatigue is a symptom, Robin. Do you want Steve to live, or do you just want to be invited onto a podcast?
I highly doubt that the Hawkins PD has grenades, Robin.
The militarization of the police misses the one scenario where it actually makes sense.
I think it must be hardwired into us to reject our fathers, so we can grow, move on.
I can empathize with how you came to this conclusion in your current circumstances while simultaneously judging you for trying to logic your way out of the idea that you're a bad dad. It's called sympathy. Part of me thinks this plan is stupid and has too many moving parts. Part of me thinks it's bullshit that Murray and Yuri look so much alike. And part of me thinks it's gonna work regardless because it has to, even though it was ridiculous to even attempt.
Last night, your sister 11 suffered a concussion.
And we didn't even let her change out of her hospital gown before coming here to further traumatize her.
But injuries of this nature don't simply happen.
Trying to evil doctor when you have more accountability than the NFL.
And why did you attack 11?
Did she tell you that?
Now I know that a person with enough brain power to be a telepath can also be an idiot. You may as well have signed the concussion you gave her.
Now, I don't know what happened between you two, but if I were you, I would get her back.
Show triangulates love while under the threat of attack by demon bats.
We've been collared by the law. I repeat, we've been collared by the law.
No one right outside the bathroom hears Dustin, even though he is using his outside voice in complete disregard for all the porcelain that should have reverberated so loud Susie could hear it.
You get lawyers? No, we're not ready for that yet.
Asking the cops if you need a lawyer instead of asking your lawyer. While being under suspicion of aiding a serial killer, no one notices Dustin walking around with this big-ass walkie-talkie.
You don't think they went through? Through Watergate? Without us? Without a plan? Without weapons?
Dustin puts himself and Lucas on the same level as a plan and weapons. Even as they grow up, the sin is still kids.
Or I told Dustin what I found under your bed.
What did you find under your bed?
Asking this question.
I smother you in your sleep.
Kids.
Holy sh**.
Holy sh**.
Holy shat tricks.
Those aren't guns.
Eddie Munson would be the armorer at TVSins.
It tickles.
Sparkle fondlers.
It's working.
There is no way she can know that the specific message Eddie is fingering through the chandelier is actually being received. Not without Dustin talking so loud that he can be heard in another dimension, but not by the adults in the other room anyway.
Юрий Измайлов. Вот, наконец, мы встретились.
Subtitles must have a mistranslation. I am certain he said, "How convenient that we have never met before."
У того Юрия, у него одного винтика не хватает. У тебя большая нехватка.
Ah, the old false tension fake out for the win. I mean, for the sin.
Выбирайте, какие хотите.
It may have been a long shot, but none of these assholes request his gun.
Если пошевелитесь до гудка, вас застрелят.
Mixing some squid things into my stranger games. The Demogorgon can only be so scary once you realize that after feeding time, they do somehow get it back into its pen. I'm guessing with more than a strong suggestion.
Are you open for something a little more challenging?
Playing the common noun game instead of just simply asking, "Want to play chess?"
He knows you're more powerful than the others.
Elle believes this based on the evidence of her routinely getting her ass kicked.
But they are watching us closely.
So closely, in fact, that you're able to hash out an escape plan and exchange this access card all while on camera.
It is time you are free from this hell.
Don't be ridiculous. There's still 47 minutes left in this episode and another 2 bloat fests to go after we get through that.
How many times do I have to be right on the money before you guys just trust me?
They're not disagreeing with him or doubting him. They just have no idea what he's talking about. The only reason for Dustin to be mad is that the script thinks it's endearing.
How far is your trailer?
7 miles.
The fact that he knew the exact distance from Nancy's house is baffling and more than a little creepy.
Oh, little pigs.
Not unless some sort of deputization happened completely off screen.
Let Officer Callahan in.
Talking like this to children.
I guess it's just a minor misdemeanor.
The 4 different cops and a gaggle of parents in this house will be stopped by the slashing of one tire.
Are you up for some more lessons?
When I asked my magic sin ball if this was gratuitous nostalgia bait, the answer came back as signs point to yes. The key card does get her past the door, but we know they have security cameras, so it's very convenient that the person who should have been watching them is out taking a dump, I presume. Show could have given us something here. At least show Elle doing some IBS ESP or something.
Here, your papa calls it soteria.
If one knows exactly where this thing is, why can't he cut it out of himself with a knife? And I refuse to believe that ripping it out telekinetically is more surgically accurate. Hopper will pay no price for pouring the fire accelerant all over his fingers.
Что этот американец делает?
What the? You were closer. He has less information than you do.
Oh, come on!
Mission critical equipment doesn't work when the character needs it to. Cliché. Hungry monster stays in its pen waiting for Godot, or the opportunity for a jump scare. I'm gonna go with Godot.
Your friend is already dead.
Premature condolences. Demogorgon Ramsay stereotypically jumps over the guy I know because the meat of a series extra is always more tender.
Эту дверь только тараном откроешь. Дай ему поесть.
Correction, they just need a series of Deus Ex Machinas, starting with a guy who is content on letting doors do all the work. In this series, Murray has gone from fighting the Cobra Kai rejects to beating a room full of trained soldiers. Show must have a black belt in plot karate. Footage of me when my snack gets jammed in the vending machine somehow makes it into the episode.
But out of one prison into another.
Technically, it's the same prison, just a shittier view.
For a second, I thought we had you medical.
Thinking that not being eaten alive by a nightmare creature isn't a miracle. Joyce and Murray hit the button in the control room and then managed to be there in front of Hopper just as the doors opened. Did they teleport with the power of emotional catharsis? Excessive slow motion huggerbration when the only thing separating you from a murderous creature is 2 inches of Soviet steel. But also, as ridiculous as this whole jailbreak is, it was worth it just to see the look on Joyce's face when she sees him and the look on Hopper's face when he hugs her. Oh, one sappy sin-off.
It's gotta be a Guinness World Record. Most miles traveled interdimensionally.
Will still has to hold that record, and he did it on foot, Robin.
Holy shit, this is trippy.
Hi, Trippy, I'm Dad. Sorry, I always wanted to say that. Won't happen again. Probably. 11 couldn't even win at Plinko, but suddenly she's able to do neck surgery. I like this scene better when Vader did it.
Those stains are, I don't know what those stains are.
Not washing your bedding once a week.
And if my theory is correct...
Sure, this will save your friends, but I'm also pretty sure that cosmology has just been upended by Dustin's theory of Stranger Things, and the show is just gonna ignore that.
Wake up, Nancy!
Vecna.
Letting the 4 people escape your bat sentries and wander around the Upside Down for a few hours before finally deciding to attack one of them. Can we get a flashback to some kind of sports ball tryouts that might explain why Vecna sucks so much at defense? When we asked for justice for Barb, we were not asking for her to be brought back even deader somehow.
When I kill someone, I never forget.
Do you want a cookie or something? Oh, sorry, I've always wanted to say that. Sorry, won't happen again. Probably. Inducing a menstruation nightmare is just ghoulish overkill. Someone has to be actively transmitting on a walkie-talkie for those sounds to be coming through. Someone died with their finger on the button and dramatic timing in their heart. Dr. Brenner is not dead. Somehow. Again. Out of everyone, and I mean everyone there that deserved to die, he was top of that list, but no, let's just knock him out for some reason. It's like blowing up all the TIE fighters at the end of A New Hope and then leaving the Death Star intact. Running toward the screaming instead of fleeing out of the sewer you were shown earlier while flipping the bird to all of Indiana on your way to a new life on a coast somewhere.
I see you've been looking for me, Nancy.
Passing up the perfect opportunity to open with, "Hello? Is it me you're looking for?" Discount stained glass window from Beauty and the Beast.
Alice, no running.
That was barely a jog. Let your daughter climb the stairs in peace.
My parents thought a change of scenery, a fresh start in Hawkins might just cure me.
Thinking that moving to Indiana is a solution to any problem.
Like me, they are solitary creatures and deeply misunderstood.
You know, I think most people understand spiders. They're just icky. You can be understood and icky.
They are gods of our world.
I don't recall ever placing a god in a jar. And you only get away with this statement because Elle wasn't allowed to go outside.
A cruel, oppressive world. Each life, a faded, lesser copy of the one before. Wake up, eat, work, sleep, reproduce, and die.
Monologuing on and on to pad the runtime when you could have just said, "I'm evil and killing everyone because I had an existential crisis and I dig spiders." Also, performing the red band version of your detailed villainous thesis for a frightened child. She's 7, not 007.
With each life I took, I grew stronger.
Holy shit. This monologue is still going.
But the truth
is that this is a massive dump of exposition. And even though Jamie Campbell Bower and his huge bloodshot eyes are doing a great job of delivering it, I'm beginning to think that this could have just been an episode on its own. Dr. Brenner gives out shitty tattoos that are almost as bad as the panther with a creepy smile I got in Tampa on spring break. The problem with mind battles is that without the flickering lights and dubstep soundtrack, it's sometimes just 2 people pointing at each other and grunting. Villains who waste time rotating their opponent instead of just snapping their neck.
It wasn't supposed to end like this.
Premature regrettabration.
I love you.
What I learned today is that if I'm ever losing a fight and I need a little extra oomph, all I have to do is harness the power of love, and I will be infused with the strength of Huey Lewis in the News and possibly even Celine Dion. Is it weird that I like that superhero landing? I'm sinning it anyway, but I did like it. Looks like we can check off Elle screams while using her powers from this season's bingo card. Oh, thank goodness that tendril moved aside or we'd have had no idea who he was. Also, it's wild that his clothes and body hair were scorched off by the lightning, but his amateur tattoo somehow survived.
Not so bad, was it?
I don't know, Doc. Looks like a pretty basic tattoo to me. Where did you apprentice again?
Madonna, Blondie, Bowie, Beatles, music! We need music!
This is music!
Including Blondie in the same list as Madonna, Bowie, and the Beatles. Madonna, Bowie, and the Beatles wish they could be in the same ballpark as Blondie. These doors have to be pushed open. After Nancy pulled off this board, there's more than enough room for her to slip through. There was room for Nancy and Jack Dawson to fit through those doors at the same time. Vecna is really hyping himself up in this scene. First, he tied Nancy to the chair, turned around, got into position in the back corner of the room. Then, he flickered the lights on so Nancy could have a freak-out moment, and finally waited patiently until Nancy noticed him to walk towards her. I mean, gotta give it to Vecna. Man knows how to set the mood.
I want you to tell Eleven. I want you to tell her everything you see.
Shouldn't Vecna know Eleven's on the other side of the country? I mean, I guess Nancy could call her, but that kind of lacks gravitas.
No! 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 No!
No.
It's okay. It's okay.
Steve Harrington isn't telling me it's okay while cradling me in his arms in this scene.
I thought you were dead.
She should be.
How about Elle?
She's good.
Lying.
I hate to interrupt, but
Apparently they can climb, too.
Of course they can. How is this ever even in doubt? So, just to be clear, Hopper can one-shot this Demogorgon with a pistol, but a handful of Russian guards with automatic weapons couldn't bring down the Demogorgon outside? What kind of bullets did Yuri put in that gun?
What the hell are they doing?
Hopefully not recreating one of the worst scenes from Jurassic Park 3. If I see a Demogorgon pretending to be dead in one of these cases to trap Joyce, I will be assigning 9,000 sins.
I think this will lead us out of here. I give it 100 to 1 odds.
Interesting math. Can you show me the calculations you used to arrive at these very specific odds? No? Then here's 3 sins for not showing your work. 11 has her powers back. And to show how strong she is and ready to fight, she will slowly X-Wing swamp a metal cylinder up and then safely back down. Do you feel the excitement? Because I don't. Also, lifting Nina without her explicit consent. Do you know what might also help you stay awake? Listening to anything besides slow reggae music.
Of course she'll still need you. She'll always need you.
Mistaking desire for necessity.
She was born special. Maybe I was one of the first people to realize that.
Oh, for the love of Skip. Skip! Why was this painting in the pizza delivery van? Or are we supposed to believe Will brought it with him while they were dragging a dying man out of their house?
Did you paint this?
Stranger Things, continuing to argue the idea that there are no dumb questions for 4 seasons and counting.
When you're different, sometimes you feel like a mistake.
This is a really sweet, touching moment that should have us oohing and ahhing, but instead it's completely wasted on Mike, who, let's be honest, has barely mattered on this series since the first season.
What you displayed that day was beyond anything I'd ever imagined.
If the power flickers on and off while Elle uses her powers, how did the camera stay on and keep recording her smiting one? I'm not sure I believe that white-haired Modine should be able to see anything beyond what he's ever imagined.
When you awoke, something had been lost. Your memories, along with whatever else you'd found within yourself that day.
And like all good superpowers that go away, they will ex machina themselves back into existence just in time to save herself and her friends. Because that's how powers work, kids.
He was sending us a message, letting us know he's back.
But why exactly would Vecna do that? Why announce a return to the enemy instead of catching them by surprise? Why give 11 any kind of time to prepare for battle?
He showed me things that haven't happened yet. The most awful things.
He showed Nancy a bunch of clocks. Those were the awful things that he showed Nancy. Clocks.
Okay, but he's just trying to scare you, Nance.
And once again, why is he showing Nancy anything? Why is he showing anyone anything? Why isn't Vecna just attacking people without giving them a heads up? Vecna doesn't know how to evil correctly.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Try him again. Try him again.
You can try, but I don't think you can reach Jesus on a landline.
Same shit.
How's that possible?
Well, you see, Lucas, the writers decided that they needed 11 to know things she couldn't possibly know, so now she can just see stuff whenever the plot calls for it.
The only reason that you survived is because he wanted you to.
No, Steve. She survived because the Duffer Bros don't know how to kill off main characters.
It'll be like slaying sleeping Dracula in his coffin.
Yes, because that always works out so well for everyone in vampire movies. It's too bad this is a year before The Lost Boys, because Dustin would be feeling like quite the idiot now if he had seen The Lost Boys.
You can't. He'll kill you.
I survived before. I can survive again.
Max is taking the you can't be struck by lightning twice approach, which is fair, but I'm also pretty sure people who've survived lightning strikes aren't hanging out in trees during rainstorms to test the theory out.
I need to keep him busy long enough so that you guys can get into that attic.
Yeah, but you do know how far the attic is. I mean, they'll have to be running through that door, running up those stairs, running into the attic. Holy shit. How far did that tunnel go? Even Andy Dufresne is side-eyeing this prison escape tunnel suspiciously. Hopper is an unnecessary dick to helping Murray out of the hole. I mean, you helped f***ing Enzo, who betrayed the deal to save you, but not Murray? How do these guards have no idea what's going on at the prison proper? Don't they have to check in routinely? They didn't hear any of the gunfire and the screams? If only there were 4 targets you could aim for that would hinder the mobility of this vehicle. If only such things existed. Also, how was no one in the van hit by a bullet? Vans are not bulletproof.
Firemat!
Instead of calling for backup or reporting the stolen van with fugitives, this guard will just do the equivalent of shaking his fist in the air and saying, "Why, I oughta."
We're not out of the woods yet.
Are you even in the woods? From the outside prison shot we saw, I didn't exactly see a forest.
That man is more slippery than an eel dipped in baby oil.
Citation needed.
As long as we steer clear of the main roads, we ought to be able to avoid cops and angry hicks.
If we're trying to avoid angry hicks, maybe we shouldn't go to some store called the War Zone.
Erica continues to be the most promising intern at TVSins. I can't figure out how they had time to paint a Captain Kirk mask. They should be less picky about the disguises. They've got shopping to do and a Vecna to kill. Also, what's the point of the mask? If it's to protect Eddie's identity, I think the rest of Mystery Inc. behind him kind of gives him away. These two do not hear or have the peripheral vision to see the 7 people coming up behind them, so they deserve to have all of their shit stolen. If Eddie knows how to hotwire cars, why go for the biggest, most likely, slowest option available? They ran past other options. And don't tell me you can't pack 7 people into a 4-door. I was a teenage driver in the 80s. Also stealing desert TARDISes.
Your friends are not prepared for this fight, 11.
And yet, by the end of the episode, all of Elle's friends will be alive, and he won't. I guess this is the show's version of irony, but since the ongoing antagonism between Elle and Brenner is the least interesting part of this season, I don't really care.
This is not our choice. We agreed this was not going to be a prison.
Was that before or after you restrained Elle and prevented her from leaving twice?
Well, except for the 6 kid part, that sounds like a total nightmare.
If only I had some practice.
Conflating babysitting with parenting.
It's like he only sees the darkness in us.
I'd give all the sins back if we find out that Vecna's main issue is that he just watches cable news all day. So their plan was to break out of prison and revisit the exact same town where Hopper was recaptured after escaping prison the first time? I'm starting to think everyone in the writer's room was just winging the whole Joyce and Hopper reunite storyline and didn't think anyone would care. Well, we do, and this is stupid.
You said you had a plane! A plane!
Being this shocked that Yuri lied.
She was named Katinka after my first lover.
And it'll definitely fly. You just have to Katinka with it a bit. I'm sorry, I'll leave now.
For me, she is still a virgin. Not real Katinka, goodness, no.
Shaming your helicopter's namesake.
I suggest talking in code. Say the wrong thing, and they will be on us like flies on shit.
Unlike the prison guards, who aren't looking for you in the same exact church they caught Hopper in last time. Robin yearning this openly when she's surrounded by Southern hicks and buckets of bullets.
Hey, can I see this? Real pretty 357, please.
Jason, conveniently being at the same store at the same time as Nancy and the Scooby Gang is convenient.
Shotguns are not good for much of anything past killing small birds.
Every zombie movie ever has entered the chat.
Your old friends are here.
They set up a scene with so much tension, but then had them all get out of the store unscathed off screen. Cold showers aren't fun, Stranger Things. The script needed Jason to follow them, so for no reason that makes sense, he is oddly suspicious of this random RV.
Since when did we decide Nina was a physical building and not a small woman? Sounds like a small woman to me.
That's small womanist.
Come check this out!
You better come take a look at this cliche.
I mean, look at the tread on these monsters.
Wow, with tires that large, I'd suggest y'all tread carefully. Okay, I'm really done this time. This trap relied on 11 being interested enough in seeing Nina again before she left with Mad About You. Just because it worked doesn't make it any less stupid.
And you make the right choices.
I try.
Did you make the right choice with Mama?
Reminding me of that entire Pittsburgh subplot from season 2.
I came here to try and understand who I was. To see if I was the monster.
Knowing if you were the monster is pretty easy, Elle. If you were a monster, you'd feel it deep within, just beneath the skin. You'd confess that you feel like a monster.
You are the monster.
Assuming there can't be multiple monsters in your vicinity. Going to an army surplus store only to buy nails you will later use to make trash can shields instead of, actual weapons that you can buy at an army surplus store.
Is this legal? It guarantees one thing. I won't miss.
People saw off shotguns to make them easier to transport and conceal, but it also makes them less accurate, so Nancy's statement is a guarantee of lies. Wrestling next to the trash can lids filled with rusty nails.
Honestly, this feels like a perfect time for that little pull of the rug, because in the face of the world-ending, the stakes of my love life feel spectacularly low.
And yet, the series will continue to dedicate more time to this subject. Believing that tables are bulletproof, Brenner chooses when he's out in the open and completely vulnerable to stand around and think. Glad the series took the time to have the big twist of him coming back, only to have him be the stupidest man on the face of the earth a few episodes later and die. Sniper was able to seemingly kill all of these scientists running for their lives as soon as they exited the bunker. But one elderly man carrying a child evades you? Or at least a lot longer than he should.
There she is! Where? On the ground!
Episode expects me to believe Mike can see Elle from this far away among the bodies scattered on the ground, and I do not believe you, episode.
52 Sierra, we've got a civvy headed our way.
Ignore it. Just take out the girl.
This sniper is part of the whole military campaign that has been put together to kill one person, and he hesitates because of a pizza delivery van that's not even in the way of his current target. I've never shot at anyone from a moving helicopter before, but if it was the only thing I did, I'd like to think I'd be better at it than this bum. Let's f***ing go! Am I about to remove a sin for Elle committing some cold-blooded murder? Yes, I am. Third wills. The fact that the episode is even trying to give Brenner a morsel of redemption. Why did it take them this long to get out of that bunker? Brenner was dying for like 10 whole minutes. He's still f***ing alive?
No, Mike, we need to get to Hawkins tonight.
Not understanding the speed limitations of pizza delivery vans. No one will be seated as everyone contemplates their life choices in a stolen RV headed to fight Freddy Krueger. I mean Vecna. Erica, Lucas, and Max exit the RV and go their separate ways. That'd be way funnier if YouTube would let me play the damn song. F***ing YouTube. Journey deserves better. Let's just go ahead and get the upside down elephant out of the room and talk about the length of this episode. This episode is 2 hours and 22 minutes long. To reiterate, one episode of a television series is 2 hours and 22 minutes long. And yes, one could argue the TV series have often done lengthy episodes in the past and have just divided them up into multi-parters. But name a 3-part episode of any TV series that needed to be a 3-parter. If you say Star Trek Deep Space Nine's The Circle Trilogy, then I will Cisco punch you in your dumb Q face so fast. Anyways, here are 142 cents for this ridiculous 142-minute episode of a TV show. This isn't f***ing Gandhi. It's a TV show.
Katinka feeling better.
Stranger Things is still katinkering with Katinka 1 episode later. And I didn't like it the first time around, so I really don't like it the second time.
Get your hands off me, potato head.
That's potatist. Joyce and Hopper are still in the church where Hopper was previously captured, and no Russian guards or soldiers have burst in to find them yet.
Plus, we do have that date to get to.
Finally, a fun Joyce and Hopper moment, a relationship we actually care about on this show. I don't know why they had to wait till the overlong season finale to get to it, though, because knowing I have another 2 hours plus of this nonsense makes me want to skip one of the scenes I've been dying to see all season.
Nobody deviates from the plan, no matter what.
I understand this group has had more dealings with unpredictable supernatural monsters than your average team of suburbanites, but they're still dealing with an unpredictable supernatural monster. So how is this resistance to anything against the plan attitude a safe approach?
Whoa, what does he want us to do, applaud?
Steve didn't stick around waiting. He glanced at them and moved out of the way. What part of that gave Robin the impression he wanted applause? Why his attitude?
Is there any way that I could speak to a manager?
Reducing Jonathan to a Karen. How is that little girl on the billboard not falling off her mother's back? She's not holding on. Her mother's not holding her. How can I even buy into psychokinetic teens when the billboard design is this sloppy? Also, convenient piggyback billboard is convenient.
Hey, dudes. Ask them if we can ride in the baggage compartment.
The baggage compartment.
Dogs ride in there all the time, man.
This is true. And this sin is for making beloved family pets ride in the fucking baggage compartment.
This is Max. When one attacks, he will be in her mind.
Elle, I appreciate you, but if the gang doesn't get the piggyback plan based on your words and the fact that they've seen you do these mental gymnastics a dozen times already, these stick figures aren't bridging the gap.
She can carry me to Vecna. I can piggyback.
Roll commercials. I understand not wanting to make noise and alert Vecna, but he's an otherworldly, powerful psychic. Shouldn't he sense them all in his childhood home regardless? Especially Max? Wasting any time of the season finale on the Jason Carver / Satanic Panic storyline. And yes, I understand it hasn't come to any kind of resolution, but I can also guarantee that no one cares.
She said the docks with the girl, and the girl went off to fight some evil in Hawkins.
The girl meaning Elle.
A question Murray wouldn't have to ask if Hopper hadn't been so committed to playing the pronoun game. Yes, girl is a noun, not a pronoun, but Hopper's pedantic vagueness still deserves a sin.
And if they're alive, that means a gate's open in Hawkins.
That's a bit of a wild assumption, given that the Russians have also been experimenting with gates for years now. They could just as easily have a gate open in another Russian lab.
What is taking so long? I thought you said he was close.
Yeah. Close to sabotaging us, you mean?
If you're so sure Yuri's sabotaging the helicopter, why have they left him out there alone?
We're talking about the particles inside the prison? The prison that we just narrowly escaped from?
Yep, you heard him, folks. Hopper has now escaped prison twice and will return once more. And I, for one, am just super excited we kept Hopper alive so he could play in and out and back in again like my dog.
There is a fine line between courage and stupidity, and this falls very far on the side of stupid.
Murray would be stupidly excellent at TVSins. Also, apparently Hopper skipped the day in sheriff's school when they taught the class not to throw guns.
Oh yeah, this'll do. This'll do just fine.
The 1980s, when we thought a flamethrower was the weapon of all weapons, also known as the Rambo effect. And I don't care that the demo dogs hate fire. You know Hopper's reaction would have been the same if they were fighting a possessed water fountain.
Listen, I would love to feed a fellow surfer boy, but kitchen closed like 5 minutes ago, so no more pies tonight, man.
Then why are you still open? The existence of this surfer boy Pies Machina is the final nail in the Argyle exists purely to fix random plot problems and say stoner things during tense moments coffin. And that shit already had 47 more nails than could be reasonably needed. While trying to potentially stop the end of the world, our characters find time to make a pizza.
What do you say, Anderson? Are you ready for the most metal concert in the history of the world?
While trying to potentially stop the end of the world, our characters find time to have the most metal concert in the history of the world.
I don't mean to freak anyone out, but I swear we've seen this tree before.
I'm more freaked out by the idea that Robin is that good at telling trees apart. That feels like a superpower that should have been more explored this season. Way more interesting than Yuri's sexual desire for helicopters.
Like, if we're meeting together the first time right now, part of me thinks that we would have made it.
You guys, awesome news!
The Nancy and Steve might get back together C-plot is finally over? That is awesome news.
I don't know, Jim. I got a bad feeling about this.
I got a bad feeling about this. Cliché. Wouldn't someone on the other end have to be constantly holding down their radio's button for the gunfire to be heard here? Did they die in that position?
Come on, do you want me or not?
Stealing your taunts from Dutch in Predator a year before Predator was even a thing.
Hopefully this blocks out any peripheral light or anything.
Or they could turn the lights in the kitchen off. Wouldn't that be easier?
And it's totally dark, which means it works. But, I just had one more important question. Do I look cool?
Mike asks this question, acting like they aren't on a timetable to save their friends and probably the entire world.
What? That's insane. That's blasphemous. Putting fruit on pizza?
Fruit already comes on pizza, Mike. Tomato sauce is from a tomato, which is technically a fruit. So here's 3 cents for an argument that was tired in 2002. They literally put hundreds of pounds of salt in that water, all of which they got from the restaurant storeroom. Either this surfer boy pizza has a serious rat problem, or our takeaway pizzas are being hugely oversalted, which would lead to all kinds of health problems. Oh.
I feel like you used to come to me more for help.
Pretty sure Will stopped because Jonathan didn't help him avoid this bowl cut.
It's gonna be okay.
Making this promise to anyone not firmly embedded in the 100% straight man spectrum in the 80s.
I found them.
It only took till there was an hour and a half left in the season finale to get 11 back in contact with everyone still in Hawkins. And that still leaves Will, Jonathan, Mike, and everyone in Russia out of the picture. Stranger Things took the worst story structure ideas from Lost and somehow made them even more infuriating.
It's not working.
What? What's not working?
Max's plan.
Elle thinks this answer is an answer that helps Will, Mike, Jonathan, and Argyle understand what the f*** she is talking about.
I know you can read my thoughts.
If he can read your thoughts, why would you be under the impression he hasn't figured out your plan to trap him?
So that's why I'm here. I just want you to take me away.
Thinking that Vecna operates under the same guidelines as Calgon. Something tells me Vecna's world is not a world of lush fragrances and soft, silky waters that caress your body.
I said stay away!
Max is somehow able to hurt Vecna and escape, despite being trapped in his mind space. And because it's early in the episode, by Stranger Things standards, he will now let her run so there can be a chase.
Chrissy, this is for real.
We can't play the song for you, but Master of Puppets is great, and this is a really fun Eddie moment. So glad for the creation of the Eddie character and that we can look forward to lots more awesome jams like this one next season. Right? Right?
Eddie! We got a lockdown and came on in 30 seconds!
Dustin having this amazing ability to register the exact flying pattern time of upside down bats to the second.
Most metal!
Citation needed. Also, it's me. I'm the citation. This entire bat metal, bat bait plan f***ing bat ruled. Expecting me to believe Hopper crawled through miles of tunnel with a flamethrower on his back and didn't once accidentally set himself and everyone around him on fire.
Now, what's happening?
He says they call it the shadow. The shadow went into them.
Into who?
Even in Russian, they're playing the pronoun game on this f***ing show. That door is crawling with hive mind vines. If they know when you step on them, why can't they feel it when you open a door?
You got this.
Yep, time to put in all those hours of practice at tentacle jumping to good use, Robin.
Shouldn't you be playing with dolls or something?
Shouldn't you bag your face?
Kids. Also, Sirius should leave the clever comebacks to Erica.
A memory within a memory?
Scene attempts a memerception, but scene does not contain a Leonardo DiCaprio.
Shut your mouth, I'll break your arm.
The Satanic Panic crew is fighting in the name of justice by threatening to break a small child's arm if she doesn't comply.
You shut off this fence, right?
Yeah.
Good. So you can turn it back on again.
That's a lot of assuming there, Hop. And she kind of got lucky with the fence the first time, making us relive Bob's death. Too soon, Stranger Things. Too soon. No.
I still got a date to make, remember?
I don't know, Hop.
I can't figure out if Joyce is concerned Hop will die, or if his choice of lasagna over veal was the correct one for their date.
They're on the roof.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Whistling? That was your plan? Couldn't you have done that, say, at the end of the hall instead of in the same room? Do you want to end up like Bob? Because that's how you end up like Bob. I liked this scene better when it was in The Day After Tomorrow. No, wait. I didn't really like it then either. Conveniently shaped trash can shield is conveniently shaped.
Buy more time.
And we've reached the part of the season where the Duffer Bros kill off the fun new character they've introduced. First it was Bob, then it was Alexi, now Eddie. I love this trend. It's really exciting and doesn't leave me at all bitter.
You thought you could trick me.
It's over an hour into this season finale, but show is finally turning up the horror knob to 11. Take us in back for showing us that Stranger Things can still be f***ing terrifying.
It's time.
Thing I say just before canceling my subscription after every season of White Lotus somehow makes it into the episode.
If Chrissy wanted help, she would have come to me!
Buying a gun and threatening to kill someone just because your girlfriend didn't come for you. Wait.
You are brave. Maxine, much braver than your brother.
Complimenting someone with the lowest bar possible. Deus El Machina. The enchantment under the Vecna theme clearly wasn't the draw the prom committee hoped it would be. Slowly rotating your foe like a rotisserie chicken instead of snapping his neck while he's subdued. Also, much like Elle is leaving Vecna hanging, we've decided to leave you hanging on a TVSins cliffhanger. Because much like Stranger Things episode runtimes, we wanted to make sure you knew we could be just as equally asshole-ish.
Don't get me, you sons of bitches!
Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah. Eddie's pedaling that bike, getting chased by bats, and calling them SOBs. The nightmare bats knock him off of his bike, but then the swarm just lets him get up and start to run away as if they sensed his dramatic character choice was coming up.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran away.
Now the nightmare bats are giving Eddie time to flash back about this.
We are not heroes.
Flashbacking about this convinces the character to get themselves killed cliché.
I'm real. How? I piggybacked from a pizza dough freezer.
AKA a power manifested out of desperation to move the plot along.
What?
The Netflix executive's reaction to the Duffer Brothers plot summary somehow makes it into the script. Agent Smithing your neck, so we know the fight is about to get serious.
If you touch her again, I will kill you again.
Except you didn't kill him. You just banished him to the Upside Down. You mustn't be afraid to admit your failures. It's hard to see because of all the rapidly cut shaky cam in a dark pit of CGI, but these bats are attacking one at a time for dramatic flair. There is no discernible reason why Vecna's abilities should be held in check by curled fingers.
Before I kill you, I want you to watch.
Typical villain needs their nemesis to be an audience to some f***ery because they hate winning.
He's the monster, Henry, not you.
11, your emotionally correct appeal to reason still requires one question. You have looked at Vecna, right?
Papa did hurt me, but he was no monster.
Thinking that being a literal monster somehow makes you a subject matter expert.
An ordinary, mediocre man.
Title of my biopic tape?
I saw so many things. I found the most extraordinary thing of all. Something that would change everything.
Was it a noun? Oh, I sure hope it was a noun.
I saw a means to realize my potential.
Somehow this villain exposition is making the nature of the Mind Flayer even more ambiguous. You say you found a thing, but it looks very much like you're making a thing. Is the Mind Flayer less of a creature and more like a medium? Was there a chance that if you found oil paints, you'd have let go of your designs on world domination and instead ushered in a new era of impressionism?
There is nothing you can do to stop this now.
Well, not for at least another 10 minutes or so. Then she'll probably hold up her hand and scream again.
It will all be over soon.
Actually, there are still 52 minutes to go. And if you keep monologuing like this, I'm going to miss the premiere of season 5.
You're the heart. Okay, remember that.
After the last 2 seasons, I think any of the vital organs might be a bit presumptuous. If anything, we should start to consider the spleen.
I feel like my life started that day we found you in the woods.
And I also feel like I've aged 6 years in the 3 that I've known you.
I love you on your good days. I love you on your bad days. I love you.
Skip. Yoga. It's not so important that we understand how Elle undid the tentacles as much as we understand that it was accomplished through the power of love. Cliché.
Assholes!
Did the Demogorgon just respond to an insult? Like it was too offended to finish its meal?
That was a miracle.
You mean convenience. Sword that was in the line of fire should be too hot to handle.
But this is only the beginning of the end.
Saying this 1 hour and 38 minutes into your finale. For some reason, Vecna just settles on brooding while being shot while being on fire, instead of using any of his mind powers. Okay, I'm forced to admit that a considerable amount of badassery has occurred. And as such, some sins will now be lit on fire and thrown out a window. Villain survives / unexpectedly escapes. I mean, expectedly escapes.
We just gotta get you to a hospital, okay?
Character undersells the near impossibility of getting the dying person to the hospital. Cliché.
I think it's my year, Henderson.
Show actually lets Eddie die, making your episode so long that I can't remember why Lucas isn't wearing shoes.
No, you're not going.
It's not so much important that we understand how Elle's powers enable her to resurrect someone from the dead, as much as we understand that it was accomplished through the power of friendship. Is Argyle getting arrested when he gets back home? Because I'm pretty sure that van isn't his.
A series of ritualistic murders which have been linked to a local satanic cult known as Hellfire.
This only qualifies as news position because of the mid-season break in the almost 2 hours of this episode. I had forgotten about the whole satanic cult thing.
Eddie Munson, the leader of this cult and prime suspect in the murders, has been missing since the earthquake and is presumed dead.
Just because it happens to be true doesn't mean the show can just yada yada the cops out of needing a good reason to believe this is true.
Claiming the Munson murders opened a doorway between worlds. A doorway, they say, into hell itself.
The news has taken the lead and buried it so hard that I accidentally wrote a sin that might be the title of my sex tape. Also, this news report is approaching a runtime length that might require me to release its sins as a separate video.
You are never going on vacation again, you hear me?
Mike's mom would rather he remain in Hawkins, where he had a bigger chance of being killed by an earthquake or angry mob.
Where's Lucas?
He's at the hospital.
Was he hurt?
No, he's... Oh, God, you don't know.
But 11 should know, since she's the one who literally brought Max back to life.
He opened his eyes, and further words died in his throat.
Show has now gone from sort of stealing Stephen King's ideas to directly reading them from a book. Also, reading Stephen King to sue someone who's been put into a coma by an encounter with an unspeakable supernatural horror. Also, where is Max's mom?
been calling you guys like crazy. I know. We came as soon as we heard.
Why didn't 11 tell you about what happened to Max on that long ride back to Hawkins? Why is she going to be oddly coy about the whole resurrection thing for the rest of the episode? This better be explained in season 5. However, even if it is, no removals will be issued. All sins are final.
Then she came back. Doctors don't know how.
Making Max be to Lucas what Palpatine is to Lucasfilm. Dustin shouldn't be walking on that leg. It's not going to heal right. This extra had absolutely no idea what to do with this palette of relief aid and settles on pushing it a little bit.
I am rambling about my dumb boyfriend when there are people out there suffering.
Vicky would be excellent at disaster relief sins.
And I have just made a peanut butter on peanut butter monstrosity.
Hyperbole.
I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like sometimes my mouth is moving faster than my brain.
Characters have something in common, and we're supposed to find that cute and take it to mean they'd be a perfect match for each other.
I was with him when the earthquake hit.
I get everyone's busy with the earthquake, and Eddie has been lazily presumed dead, but one of his known associates who ran away from the police a few days prior has resurfaced and not been taken in for questioning.
He fought and died to protect this town.
Trying to make Mr. Munson believe Eddie fought an earthquake. It's been like a week since anybody in Lenora Hills got their pizza.
And voila, cleaning supplies.
Thinking cleaning supplies are going to help with that gaping hole in the roof.
Otherwise, who'd have been in charge? Steve.
He's actually grown up quite a bit, you know?
Adding fuel to the fire of this love triangle I do not desire.
You think it's too late to throw saving the world on your college resume?
This season? That'd be a stretch. I think Argyle and his van contributed more to the plot than Jonathan.
She's never lost before.
What about the fight with the blob monster in the mall when she was saved by fireworks and Billy screaming?
He's not. Now that I'm here in Hawkins, I can feel him.
Show saved this reveal for Will and Mike's one-on-one as if cleaning up the cabin was more important. Max! Is Max's consciousness just gone and Elle just misplaced it? I am fatigued by the desire of Netflix to always have something hanging off of a cliff.
Hey, kid.
Dang it! As ridiculous as this whole jailbreak subplot was, it was worth it just to see the look on Eleven's face when she sees him and the look on Hopper's when he hugs her. One zap his head off.
You aren't the only one that didn't stop believing.
Yes, this has been quite the journey. Sorry, I've always wanted to say that. It won't happen again. Probably. Gonna say at least 10 minutes runtime has been tacked on just for hugs. Will's Vecna sense is just now tingling because the heartfelt reunions needed to wrap up before the Stranger Thingsing could resume.
Mom, it's snowing!
Trying to tell me that not a single person in this crowd is worried about their allergies. Everyone else stops walking 20 feet before 11 because they merely adopted the dark, or something melodramatic like that. Good thing Hopper's cabin was within walking distance of this scenic flower hill. Otherwise, they'd have never been able to foreshadow the impending death and destruction properly. Wow, that is a lot of upside down seepage. You'd think they'd have people working on that around the clock. Can you imagine what would happen if something like that was left untreated for, I don't know, 3 whole years?
He's beginning to believe.
A circle was drawn, and the top that was driven out of the circle, or crushed, was the loser.
You are gonna play Plinko! So last night, when we were down by 10 points at half to Christian Academy, I looked at my team, and I said,
You suck.
Have you ever wished you could have the answer to any question right at your fingertips?
Well, there's a lot I didn't know about vomit.
I just wanted clarity on the rules of the assignment.
Be a bitch if you want.
Studies have linked
TVSins
to the game, saying it promotes satanic worship. What do you say? It's plenty of bang for your buck. Should last you.
Squirrel! This is some bullshit.
I don't want to go.
I'm not dead!
Mother puss bucket.
And it wasn't like a cheap fake laugh either. It was like,
It's real!
This woman, who is she?
There are 4 lights!
You son of a bitch.
You ever hear the name?
Spring Boob Squire Pin. Nothing can stop the clock!
He started out like any other day.
Who is this? I'm Batman. So we got some good news and some bad news. How do you prefer?
Bad news first, always.
The bad news is you've got just 1 week to regain your job, starting with tonight. Starting with tonight's sit.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Hey, guys, there is a 4 p.m. showing of Police Academy 3. Could be fun.
I would rather watch Beautician and the Beast.
Stop wasting time!
So we're just supposed to trust that you're the good guys? Whoever you are?
Good guys are here.
Excuse me, do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
40,000 American dollars, as promised.
That beautiful sound of cold, hard cash.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Survived? Is that what you call this? This is God.
Grill, what the hell happened?
War. War never changes.
There's nowhere to go. There's really nowhere to go.
Whoa, look at that hole.
Listen to this. Does that remind you of anything? Susie saved the world last year. And maybe she can save it again.
So we're saving the galaxy again?
They told me you guys look like dorks.
You are fragile cargo. You can still break.
I must break you.
This is Sparta!
We're not gonna be able to see if we turn off our flashlights.
Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
There are 4 lights!
I don't understand how you can be so mistaken.
Is Susie here? Ow!
They drew first blood!
You do realize that Skull Rock, it's like a super popular makeout spot?
Makeout rave. Good times, good times.
Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
Which brings us back to our starting point, the 9 tenets of constancy.
The police.
The police here? A reunion?
But what if, somehow,
Palpatine returned.
If you allow anger or emotion to invade your thoughts.
Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Today's lesson is going to be about rules.
A lot of you have been breaking the first 2 rules of Fight Club.
We've been collared by the law. I repeat, we've been collared by the law. Do you copy?
Mills is dead, kid. So's his pal.
Okay, just hear me out.
It's a steak with water dumped on it.
Tickles.
Kinda feels good.
Did you bring protection?
I used to be a good boy. I ate all my vegetables.
This will lead you out beyond the lab fence to the woods.
Well, it's definitely a hole. They weren't lying about that.
Hey, we're stuck in this pool, dude. Can you help us out?
A cruel, oppressive world.
Wake up, eat, work, sleep, reproduce, and die. Each life, a faded, lesser copy of the one before.
What a monologuist. I can't hold it any longer. I can't. Too weak.
Good news, everyone!
Nobody deviates from the plan, no matter what.
So you make plans that fail.
Yusuke!
Do you even have to ask?
Oh yeah, this'll do.
That'll do, pig.
Do you hear me? What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Chrissy, this is for you.
Hello, Cleveland!
This pit was designed to trap monsters. We get them in here, we lock it up, we rain fire from above.
The line must be drawn here.
Shouldn't you be playing with dolls or something?
I'm tired of your teeth and all the vermicelli in between.
What are you doing? I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
Looks like love at first sight to me.
think this will lead us out of here? I give it 100 to 1 odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Showed me
some things that have not yet come to pass.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
I got something. You missed. How could you miss? It was 3 feet in front of you.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Running a little fast, as it were.
if you touch her again, I will kill you again.
I haven't had anything yet, so how can I have some more of nothing?
To become the predator I was always born to be. Once again, you have freed me.
Mistakes were made by me.
Phase 4.
Profit! You would have done him no risk.
Okay, Spider-Man!
Everyone in the world is trying to get out of Washington. We're the only schmucks trying to get in.
This isn't exactly like a fortress of solitude, man. It's more like a
Fortress of the Moles.